Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, question tonight: can Kyle and Summer reconcile their marriage on The Young and the Restless? Now, my philosophy is a pretty harsh one because I feel like cheating is something that I don't understand how you can get past. I really don't. Um, I know sometimes children, when they have children and stuff like that, it does play into a factor as far as how long you've been married, you have children. Are you going to sit there and, as Kevin Samuels used to sit there and say, wreck your home because you couldn't get past some person's mistake or their bad choice? I don't know. I don't know. I'm a person that I've never been put in that position, so I can't sit there and say. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know how I feel about that. The only way to sit there and get over the only way to sit there and get over cheating is to even the odds. Now, I'm not saying that's right, but I do believe in balance, and I know DC says, well, that's just revenge. Sure, whatever you want to sit there and call it. But that's the question of the night. Let's do some roll calls. And as we are coming in, make sure that you hit the like button. Let's start off the stream right. It really does actually help. I know I sound like a broken record, but it generally does help, though. Melly Mel's in the chat was good. My horror queen. And Janetta's in the chat. How you doing tonight? As of course, Mel, I expect nothing less. Spiderquake is in the chat. How you doing, my friend? LaShanta's in the chat. Was good. Monique is Monique is in the chat. How are you doing tonight? Monique actually has a birthday coming up tomorrow, right? Your birthday's tomorrow. I didn't write it down, but I do remember it though. I'm not gonna sit there and say your age, but you said it in the chat before. But you tomorrow. Charlotte needs me. No, Charlotte needs therapy. That's what Charlotte needs. Charlotte needs some damn therapy. Lashanta says, Talia ain't nothing because she knew he was married to Val. Yeah, and on top of that, she's sitting there trying to use the excuse of, well, I was drunk. I was drunk. We were drinking. I'm like, well, we're not doing that. We're not going to sit there. Spike Quick says, it's fine if you said it. I don't think you're talking to me. Crystal Hawkins is in the chat. How you doing tonight? How you doing, Crystal Hawkins? Dolly's in the chat. What's good, Dolly? Cat Lady's in the chat. Yes, that's what's up. So you said once you get to 100, you said you're going to do a face reveal once you get to 100. So I'm going to look for your video. And Pop is in the chat. What's good? And Rihanna's in the chat. How you doing tonight? And Pop. Swipe Quick says, I can help her out. Don't worry. Maybe me and Charlotte can pop Gladys. Pop Miss Wu. Pop Pikeman. Yeah, like I said, she needs some therapy. That's what's up. That's what's up, Cat Lady. I remember you said when you got to 100, though. I remember what you said when you got to 100, so I didn't forget. Monique says, with Sean and Bella's situation, I wish Sean would have called Bella while he was getting down and dirty with Talia and say he wants to work things out. She comes and catches them in action. I am doing fabulous. Crystal Hopkins, I'm doing fabulous. I hope you are as well. I'm surprised. I don't understand why is he going after his financials already. Price already watched it. Okay, cool. But I'm gonna watch it too then, because I remember what you said. So Ariana says, I hope you had a great day. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I surely did. Mm-hmm. Always does this. Like then I was about okay. Gemini's in the chat was good, Gemini. Lashanta says Vicky throwing a fit, Nikki letting her Nikki letting her gaslight her. Ronnie Ron is in the chat. So Wendy thought she was going to trick EJ. Oh, when she got fired, it was so good to sit there and see her get fired. I'm glad to hear that, Gemini. I'm glad to hear that, Dolly. Ambassador Sam is in the chat. Let's get Ambassador Sam. Okay, so we're just gonna do that. Darby's in the chat. What's good, Darby? Kushata says Wendy's dumb. Wendy's the type of person that thinks that she's smarter than she is, and that's the thing that's it's so annoying to watch. Dave, what's good? What's good, Dave? Cherry Ice Cream is in the chat. How are you doing? Monique says Billy is another Adam, always looking for a reason to screw things up, both giving chances after chance and find a way to screw it up. That seems about right. Yes, no, seriously, it's good to see you again. It's good to see you again. Cherry Ice Cream. Black Mom's in the chat. What's good, Black Mom? Darby said, saw the Jenny May video, living dangerously, I see. Oh yeah, you know me. You know me. I listen. I want all the smoke. But you know what? Here's the thing, Darby. It's the lesson. This is what happens when you try to be a boss chick. When you try to be a boss chick, you wind up wrecking your home. There, I said it. Want to be a boss chick? It's going to cost you. And I don't think that people understand. I don't think that some women understand that until it's too late. They wind up buying a dog or a cat and dying alone. Okay, so I see it's gonna. I'm not. I will get to everyone in 1 second. I just want to make sure everything's working. I'm not. I will get. Okay, we're good. We good. I saw Candace Mack one earlier. Richard is in the chat. What is good, Richard? It's so good to see you again. Dave said, "Wait, what did Jenny May do? She wrecked her home. That's what she did, Dave. She wrecked her home. She wrecked her home by well, thinking that she was the alpha in a relationship, thinking, just having that masculine energy. And Jeezy wasn't about that. Jeezy wasn't about that. Danny's in the chat. What's good, Danny? But yes, that's what she did. This is her second divorce. So she had 2 divorces. I think the problem is her. Just saying, if we're gonna go by the numbers, problem is definitely her. Gemini says you can be a boss, but being an ass is another story. Yeah. Lashanta says Vicky plans to see like Victor, not in his right mind. Monique says Harris is another Jason. If they were going to bring Steve to days, at least have him play his original character and not Jason again. Maybe here's the thing. I feel like that's the only acting that Steve can actually be. That's the only way he knows how to act. Unfortunately, Jimmy says, "We'll watch your Jenny video and comment." Okay. I look forward to the response. One person already actually gave me a dislike on that video. Spikewood says Jake better watch out for Charlotte. He can't handle her. I can. No, I think you need to let therapy handle her. Richard said, I'm alright. I'm good. I am good. Kelly said Jenny will be fine. Yeah, she'll be fine. She's gonna be fine with either a yes man or buying a dog and dying alone. And by fine, then yeah, sure. Darby says, okay. Darby says, like a business, there can be two co-owners. There can't be two co-owners in a relationship. Yes, they can. Krista said, I've been waiting on my new wheelchair for 6 weeks. Will be here Friday. I'm sorry it took so long, but I'm happy it's coming soon, y'all. Now it says, Auburn, I'm happy that you will be on the same page about Talia after her betrayal. Oh, of course, yeah. No, I'm definitely on the same page about that. So Craig says, I am her therapy. Okay. All right, broski. Sure. Then he says, what you been up to? This. And yeah, working and enjoying life. Kelly says, yes, she has her daughter, so she's good. Okay. I'm gonna let that go, Kelly. I'm just gonna let that go. Yeah. And Pop said, Albert, I'm trying to find out what tarot cards has to do with me as well. I was wondering that myself. Wow, this thing is moving so effing fast. Listen, if I miss somebody in the comment section, I do apologize. Jonathan is in the chat. Was good. Joshua is in the chat. How you doing tonight? And thank you, Black Mon. Yes, hit the like button. We got 36 people in the chat. We got 36 people in the chat. I have no idea how many likes we have so far, but it really does actually help. So let's see. Okay, we got 18 likes. We got 36 people in the chat. So if you are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. It really does help. Thank you, Black Mind. Duan is in the chat. Was good, Duan. Now, Lashanta says it's always to side to his story, I believe. Oh yeah, of course. I believe he used her just to promote his book with their daughter last week. Well, here's the thing. There's always three sides to a story. When you watch the video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because I'm going to be honest, I am actually pretty fair. Okay, I am pretty fair. Gemini says, as a married woman, unless illness, moms, and other family members cannot live in my home, I will happy pay rent for you to get your life together. Hmm? Johnson says, what do you think Wendy will do now since she's been fired from Demara? That's a damn good question, but I'll tell you this much, Jonathan. When she got fired, oh, I actually tell you the truth, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna watch that scene again. I'm gonna watch that scene again. There was something that was just very special and very magical about watching Wendy get fired. Joshua said, to answer your question about Summer and Kyle as far as marriage is concerned, I'm concerned their marriage ended when Summer started to take Phil's side. Joshua says if they can coexist as parents to Harrison, then that's fine, but the marriage is over. Ron says Albert Lee is so effing annoying. What Finn's gonna do? Nothing. Why don't she go try to take shield herself? She's a coward. Oh, Ron. What am I gonna do with you, Ron? You are one of a kind. Gemini says use her to promote a book. The book was already on New York bestsellers when she made her video. Okay, cool. I can see what side that you're taking so far. Which yeah, here's the thing, Gemini. I'm not going to say I'm not putting all of it on her, but there was a lot of things that she did do to wreck her marriage. Now I'm not saying she's the total cause of the split. When you watch my video, you'll understand where I'm coming from. The amazing, gorgeous, sexy Queen Janet is in the chat. What's good, Janet? Dawn says, can Summer and Kyle save their marriage? Anything is possible. Quick says, Albert, you gotta have confidence. I can help Charlotte because it's a real therapist. That dude or girl gonna end up. I I don't think that. Oh, Dinah? Yes, she can. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. What? I'm gonna call you Miss Jeffries or Jeffries. Jeffries says Kyle was real harsh though. Yes, and I also before we get started, let's welcome a new person in the chat who I keep messing up their name. What the? I think it's Dinah, right? Is that your name, Dinah? Dinah Jeffries? Danny Saber has not been on YouTube and making videos on Rumble. All right, so why? Okay, Danny, why did you go to Rumble instead of YouTube? Okay, Spiderquake, sure. Dinah says yes, Summer did do stuff to wreck her marriage. Yeah, I would definitely sit there and say they both played a role in it. Johnson says could Lois help Brooklyn restart her music career? I mean, yeah, anything's possible. It's just too bad that she can't like be singing and stuff like that, you know, because the actress couldn't sing. They couldn't be bothered to sit thinking an actress that can actually sing. That's how I look at that. Darby said, I don't like the tone in Wendy's voice when she spoke to EJ. I'm glad he fired her for her rudeness, even after EJ warned her beforehand. I love how she sat there and said that I'm a woman. Like that was supposed to make some sort of a difference. It is dying. Okay, just to be fair, just well not to be fair, just to make sure I'm clear. It is Dinah, right? Let me know if yeah, that's what I said. Let me know if I'm actually saying your name right. No, says I think Kyle and Summer can save the marriage, but it's going to get complicated. But they're both still love each other, so it's possible. Okay. Then instead of having an account still with Rumble and never closed my account and just did it for fun. Okay. But okay. Well, Danny, are you still doing videos on YouTube though? Are you still doing videos on YouTube? Johnson said the temporary Brooklyn could say. Yeah. It's just Laura B's in the chat. What's good, Laura B? Monique says my issue with Kyle is that he didn't have any smoke for um Diane after what she did faking her death, but got plenty to say about Phyllis and what she did. Yeah, exactly. When it concerns his mother, then he says no YouTube videos. So why'd you start doing okay, so why'd you start doing videos on YouTube, Danny? I'm very curious about why'd you start doing videos on YouTube. Lashanta says, let Kyle feel it. Okay. Quite quick, so I'm sorry that temporary Brooklyn looks like a negative number. However, you think Cody gonna get Sasha pregnant by next year? At least it would make some sort of sense, though. George said, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think is Deanna. Yes, it's something like that. That's what I was going to say. It's Deanna. Deanna. Yes, it's something like that. I'm sorry, Deanna. I am actually legendarily bad with names. But thank you for coming through tonight, Dom. Well, anyway, Deanna, what soap operas do you watch out of the four? Ariana said Jean seemed like a mess today. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Mel says I love when AJ told Johnny that Susan is alive. Days, okay, all right, Deanna. I've been watching Days for about like 2 years now, so I'm with it. Danny said doing my wrestling and sports on Rumble and YouTube. Not for me at this time, but the door is open in the future. Okay. All right. Well, enjoy your time on Rumble. Monique said, "Don't blame Maxie for." Exactly, Monique. Effing exactly. I don't blame her either. Yeah, Gemini, definitely prayers for him. Um, I hope everything works out for him, Gemini. Deanna says, "Days wine are bold, and I watch Gage a bit sometimes too." I'm assuming, Deanna, that your favorite show is Days of Our Lives, which I actually want to do a review on today. Exactly, Lorby. Darby said, "Did anyone hear that they will soon charge a fee to use X? I'm glad they're doing this, so now they have to pay to insult someone." What? They're gonna be charging a fee to use X? Oh, well, it's gonna be a wrap at that point. Goddess Jess is in the chat. The one and only. Deanna says Elon is crazy. Yeah, he's crazy. He's gonna lose a lot of people. Ain't nobody gonna be sitting there trying to. Nobody wanna be. Ugh. You wanna sit there and charge people to go on your platform? All right, bro. That dude's gonna be losing so many people in one night. It's not gonna be funny. Spikewick says Skeeter should be dropping that EB. I'm looking forward to that video. I'm looking forward to that video, Spikewick, because I'm going to be doing some sort of video on it. Johnson says, so now both Lee and Wendy are out of Demara Enterprises. And yet they're rich. So Monique says, was it me or was Felicia not pleased when James said he wanted to be a cop? Like, I can't tell. I don't know. I was so like, I didn't really care about her talking about her new job. So it was like, everything just went in one ear, not the other. Then he says, Albert feels like not happy about me jumping the Rumble because you two rivals. No, no, it's not that at all. I mean, listen, if you want to do Rumble, I'm listen. You do whatever you're happy with. You know, you do whatever you're happy with. My whole thing is that you listening to saying you should, you want me to tell people to go on your YouTube, which is fine. But now you're on Rumble, so it's like you told me to sit there and promote you, tell people to come on your YouTube channel just for you to sit there and jump on Rumble. But if you're happy, then I'm happy for you. Whatever you decide to do, I'm happy about that. Fly Quick says, Albert, how you get mad at James for telling them to stop when they're loud and waking him up. Spider Quick, you have a point, but it still annoyed me though. I didn't get mad. I was just like, bro, take your ass to bed. Grown ups are talking. I'm not saying you're wrong, Spider Quick. I'm just saying I'm saying that he needs to sit there and take his ass back to bed. I seriously would have turned around and be like, boy, take your little ass back to bed. Grown folks are talking. What's wrong with you? But I get where you're coming from, Spider Quick, because I do value my sleep a lot. Oh, a lot. That is right. Got the big one, big size. One of Jess's many good ideas. Thank you, Jess. Johnson says Wendy will probably end up getting a job at Titan and she would probably be happier. That's true. That is actually very true, Jonathan. That is actually very, very, very true. No, Danny, you do as long as you're happy. I'm cool with it. Just says, what I do. Remember I used to think get the little cups of noodles? And he was like, you should sit there and get the bigger size. And then I listened to you. And I haven't stopped since. So, Jess, you just got good ideas. Double C's in the chat. Yes, that was your idea, though. Spikewick says Lucy act like she's gonna die. She lose that 1%. Yeah, and she's pretty much kind of screwing everyone over by doing that too. Just as though I was kind of bored with Jace today. Yeah, they definitely didn't bring it. Dolly says, wouldn't Vivian be head of Titan, right? That's actually very true. That's actually very true, Dolly. Oh, and she probably wouldn't be happy then. And here's the thing, Dolly. If she wouldn't be happy, and I'm very happy about that. LaShanta says Devon's naive about Tucker. I think that I think he wants to give his dad the benefit of the doubt. I think he wants to give his dad the benefit of the doubt. And Kelly said, just I made it to 100 subscribers. Or what if Spikewood says, Albert has no faith in me that I can help. Surely you gotta give an L for me. Oh Jana said B&B was boring too. I like Sasha and Cody. Spikewick says, I'll prove you and Albert wrong, just you'll see. Now so I don't think it's Tucker that Victor sold his shares to, but will be Victoria as Mama Johnson will be the mystery person. May May? They bringing May May back? Double C says one thing about Wendy, she fell for that trap EJ Paul. Yeah, exactly. Because she thinks she's the smartest person in the room. She is a very arrogant, bleepity bleep girl. Um, Gemini says Devon is not naive. No one likes Tucker. So whatever Ashley says, Tucker is the bad guy. Yeah, I think that's what I think he's just giving him the benefit of the doubt. That's what it comes down to. Deanna says they don't know what to do with Wendy. Truthfully, I can see that. I can see that. I mean, I never liked her from Jump, but Gemini says May May and Jill are coming back next. Monique said Lucy needs to understand that her and Maxie come from different worlds. Everything Maxie got, she earned. It where Lucy had things handed to her. Just said Gregory is telling everyone about his condition, but Chase, why are they dragging this out? Because you, because it's GH. That's why. Because it's General Hospital. But yeah, she does make a really good point. Darby says, who's to say that Tracy will let Lucy off the hook, even if Lucy gave up her 1% of ELQ? Tracy is such a backstabbing liar who doesn't keep her word. I get that, but at this point, Double C says yes, she's returning, but I don't know what date Mamie's returning. Deanna said, yeah, for me out there, I don't see her point of being on the show. I mean, yeah, new character, but she's kind of boring to me. Yeah, I'm much more of a Sloan person. I like Sloan. Then he said, Albert, do you have a channel? But no one checks out for months now, and you two give me a heart. Then he says, Albert, do have a channel, but no one checked out for 3 months, and YouTube gives me a hard time. No, I get it, Danny. It was giving a lot of people hard times on different things, and pulling your videos down, copyright stuff. Like, no, I trust me. I get it, Danny. I really do. I have an account on Rumble as well. I haven't actually uploaded on there, but I have an account on there, so I understand why you shifted over to Rumble. Let me know how your progress is on Rumble, though. And I'll definitely try to check out some of your videos. Crystal says, Mimi, that would be good. Oh, Jonathan, did you? Okay, Jonathan, were you the one that said that Loki season 2 is out? Somebody in this chat said Loki season 2 is out, and it might have been you, Jonathan, but I'm not too sure. Or the Spider Quake, or was it both of you? Somebody in this chat yesterday said Loki was out, and I went on there today, and I was like, no, he's not. Big Nate's in the chat. Was good, Nate? Johnson says, I remember EJ telling Wendy that she won't just be out of salon division of Demira, but she won't work at any Demira anywhere. Yes, and when he said that, she just had that dumbfounded look on her face. Oh, so great. Trust me, I really don't like this character, so watching her get fired, and I'm gonna watch it again, um, just because. Johnson says I did, but I was wrong, and it's coming out. Oh, okay, cool. Now I just want to. Okay, what is that? Yeah, it's applesauce. Yep. Well, I got another one. Just says every time I have to spell Charlotte, I get a stroke. Gemini says if I was Tuck, I would be so mad also because he and Ashley made plans. Then she changed her mind, and he was supposed to be good with that, knowing he can't get a job at your job. I get that. But here's the thing. I understand. Here's the thing, Gemini. There's a fine line between being disappointed and the level that he took it. This was overboard, right? I mean, this dude was sent to acting like they're no longer married, and that simply was not the case. And there's a fine line between being disappointed and where he went. That was extra. Lashanta says, I'm glad Phyllis told Diane no. Okay. Dolia says, I hate how Days let Wendy be so stupid. I actually like the shady side she showed with the passport. They need to do more of that with her. Let her be a shady hacker. Just said, LOL, I can't spell Charlotte for ish. It's giving Albert. Whoa. Whoa. Damn, Jazz. I don't even know what to say to that. It's giving Albert. Wow. Brian says Albert Tripp was trying to interfere with Rafe investigation, but he was feeling the pressure, so he had to tell him where Harris and his mom were. Yeah, because he was another person that thought he was the smartest person in the room. Johnson says, I heard that Tucker may end up setting Billy up for something. Yeah, because he's looking at his financials. So I guess that makes sense. Lashanta says, I hate Phyllis getting mixed up with Tucker. Duane says, I don't trust Diane. She's up to something. Isn't she always up to something according to people's eyes? It just goes right back to the evil Diane. Because she's always up to something. I mean, she hasn't actually done anything since she got back, but she's up to something. Jim and Ashley remember Tucker and Ashley were together years ago, so he was around listening to her complain for years about how he was treated unfairly by Jack. How she was treated unfairly by Jack. I get it. I do. But that's again, that's the his thing. I get what you're saying. There's a level of disappointment, and then there's where he took it. He took it over the line. You know, he took it over the line. He got upset. He got angry. He blew up at her, and then he went to General City and he cheated on her. I'm sorry, but we we can't sit there and give him a level of understanding for that. You know, he got problems with his wife, so the first thing he does is he cheats. Come on, I'm just saying, Duane, the evil Diane just says, "I wonder what's up with the tarot cards." Hmm. What if now I have a crazy thought, Jess, and everyone. What if Charlotte is getting um Jake to do this stuff? What if Charlotte is getting Jake to do this stuff with the tarot cards? Dolly said Diane ain't doing nothing but drinking water, minding her business, and living rent free. And Phyllis said, Gemini said that he really cheap because he and Audra have an understanding. Yeah, okay. All right. Sure, whatever you say, Gemini, you okay. Anyway, like I said, this dude was extra. Ron says, Albert, do you think that Lee will try to kill Sheila, or is she just hallucinating? Oh, she's not going to sit there and kill Sheila. But I don't understand what the hell. I don't understand what she's asking Finn to do, though. Because that. Mm, I guess we'll find out, Mel. I don't understand. I don't understand what Jess said. Jake is definitely involved. I wouldn't put it past her. Johnson says, "How far do you think Tucker will go? As far as necessary." And I'm being dead serious about that. As far as necessary. Gemini says, Albert, but they do understand each other in bed. I mean, that's true. That's true. I won't disagree with you about that. Duan says, Team Lee. Okay, so can you tell me what Team Lee was actually? Okay, so can you tell me what Lee was actually saying? Because at that point, I feel like she was just babbling. This chick for literally 20 minutes was just making no sense whatsoever. You need to do something. You need to fight for her. You need to sit there and get rid of Sheila. You want her to kill Sheila? Why don't you just say that? What has Diane done besides save Ashley's life? Well, she's the evil Diane, so. Monique says Victor still has some abandonment issues from when he was left behind, so he tested his family to see that no matter how bad I hurt you, you won't leave me in the dust. Talk about Victor Newman, right? Tori says, how do you, this isn't some long time by Tucker and Ashley together. They break up or screen another country. Oh, that's just lazy. That's just Y&R writing. Johnson says, what cake will you have for Gladys Day of Reckoning? Chocolate. I love my chocolate. Chocolate ice cream. Gemini says, Tucker is damn right. Is damn right. Blow up everything because Y&R needs something because it's getting boring again. I'm done. He says lead job today was to fill up time until Steffi comes back from maternity leave. What the Monique says the way Sheila is talking about Finn, you would think he was her love. Exactly. It's so weird. It's so weird and disgusting. It's like Bobby says I forgot who mentioned it first, but I agree that the tarot cards could have effecting on Charlotte. Like, I think I said it, but I could be wrong. Impop said, "Why do you think that GH is dumbing down the female? Sasha believes Gladys loves her. Anna believes Valentine loves her. Brooklyn believes her grandmother loves her. Willa believes Nina loves her." That's a damn good question. That's a damn good question, Impop. See, just so I'm glad you're here. Oh yes, Victoria. I mean yes, Victor. Hmm. I never looked at it that way, but then again, I don't actually have the history that other people do when it comes to us watching it. Duane says, "Okay, Albert, what would you rate Lee?" Um, Maybe a 5.5. I would set their radar at 5.5. I would give her a 5.5. I think 5.5 is fair. That lady says Nina has so many secrets now. Keep on piling up. Yes, I thought about that today. Now she has the Charlotte secret on top of everything else. Oh man, I can't wait till those house of cards come crashing down on her. But yes, Duane, I will sit there and rate Lee a 5. And Duane, you know exactly how accurate my ratings are. Totally accurate. Totally accurate. Super accurate. Dolly says a 5, dang, not a 6. You gotta be at least a strong 6 to get. Oh, no, I said a 5.5. That's close to a 6. Yeah, I'm still giving her a 5.5. I'm sorry, I'm giving her 5.5. I'm sorry, what you say, Jess? What you say? Darby says, and I would rate Diane a 5 also. You talking about Diane from Y&R, right, Darby? Joanne says, not accurate, LOL, but funny. I think it's pretty accurate. Jess said Brooklyn knew who Tracy was too. Boo boo. Mm. Johnson says Tracy looked hurt when Brooklyn decided to distance. Yeah, she had that tough look on her face, but okay, broski. Okay, broski. I didn't. See, that was something else that annoyed me though. Like, why is he sleeping on a chair because he wants to be a gentleman? I'm like, yo, grown ass adults, like sleeping on no damn chair. What the hell I look like? Yep, okay. You know what? That's your rating, and that's totally fine. And I'm not going to sit there and knock it. I 100% disagree with that, but I'm not going to sit there and knock that. Oh, okay. All right. That's yeah. That's something. Let's have to say Audrey just like a snake going to look out for herself when Nikki told them to stop. She was cocky. Yeah, but I'm going to be honest. I didn't like what Nikki was doing. Summer's not some 7-year-old little child that needs her feelings spared. Nikki was just being her usual Karen self, like always. Um, a strong 7. Wow. Okay. I want to sit there and say a 7. I honestly thought you were sit there and put her at a. Hmm. I'll put her at a 5.5. Also, I will put Wynard Diane a 5.5. Yeah, I'll put her at a 5.5. That's very true, Lashanta. Very true. Darby says I'm holding the line until Kyrie's gets here. Gemini says Nikki is all about her family. Yeah, and she's all about her family. Okay. Somebody didn't ask her to do that. She's just her usual Karen self, like I've said. So we gonna have to agree to disagree on that one. We're gonna have to politely agree to disagree. Because apparently I was. Janice says Nikki is the worst. I agree with you. Yeah, thank you. Well, apparently the last time I was acting like this, apparently I was being combative, whatever the hell that meant. Billy says start giving those those pity. I just you know. Darby said, "What witchcraft has GH Diane has under you?" No, it's an accurate number. Diane. Okay, I'm gonna sit there and say this again. General Hospital's Diane Miller is a 10. She is a 10. And just what is Jocelyn again? What is Jocelyn? What rating would you give Jocelyn? Darby said you mean unruly. Well, apparently I was called combative. Joanne says Nikki's a 5. That seems about right. Just said because Diane is definitely a 7. That makes no sense. And what's Jocelyn again? What's Jocelyn's number? Gemini says Nikki family, Nikki and his kids and Victor and her kids and Victor, her family. Okay. Basanta says I've never seen Audra show. Don't feel sorry for her or Kyle. So you're a Summer fan. You're a Summer fan, right? Last day says Kyle&Summer, why did Nikki care so much? I don't know. I think somebody said something about family or something. Um, Mel says I love that Nikki is punishing Kyle for cheating. Oh, you're happy that the Karen is minding the business that's not paying her. Um, Dolly says it's not even her damn place to be honest. Anyway, Dolly says all of the Dianes are a 7 when you're born, and their name you Diane, and they scramble 7 on your birth. That's a good answer. I mean, I don't. Darby says, I'm going to say this once. Go get a CAT scan for your head, Albert. Hmm. Okay, Darby. So Darby, who do you think is a 10 on a soap opera? On any one of the 4 soap operas, who do you think is a 10? Monique said, do you think that Charlotte's going to do this because she doesn't want Anna with her father and want Valentine back with Nina? Just says what happened to Maxie, third kid Bailey. She's never really mentioned. She's literally never mentioned. That's a damn good question. Okay, so Dolly says Jada, and Darby says no one. Now, that's not true. That is definitely not true. Leslie says Nikki does need to mind her own business. Exactly. Insists Nikki trying to fight battles that don't have anything to do with her. And honestly, tell you the truth, what is punishing Kyle actually going to do? Like Kyle is a grown ass adult. He can sit there and literally see whoever he wants. The shot that says Steffi. That's very true. Steffi is a 10. That is very true. Steffi Forrester on Bold and the Beautiful is a 10. I agree with that. Mel says, I rather love Kyle&Summer together and they're working things out on the show. Yeah. No. I know you like him, so, I respect that. Dylan says, Audra is a perfect 10 as far as looks goes. Exactly. She's a 10. So we'll see. Gemini says the way this is going to play out, Valentine may end up back with Nina. Lashanta says Katie. Katie's a what? A 10? Um, Probably yes. Yes, yes. At the end of the day, yes. Kelly says Sasha, Jocelyn, Audra, and Ava and Hope. I don't. Are you saying like the all 10s and Hope? I don't get that, Kylie. Is that like I don't get that. Dolly says Stuffy has always been stunning and is probably one of the best casting jobs in the history of soaps. Darby says if looks is the case, then so is Jenny. Jenny may also have it. That's true. That's true. You're not wrong about that. She is definitely bad. I give her that. She is definitely bad. Kelly says yes, those are my tens. Okay, let me take a look at those tens again. Sasha, no. Jocelyn, no. Audra, yes. Ava, no. And Hope, no. But they're pretty. They're not tens, but they're pretty. They're like eights and 7.5s, but I respect your rating system. I'll give you that. I respect your rating system. Even though I just did, but I'm not gonna hold it against you. I respect it. That's very true, Gemini. That is 100% true. That is 100% true. What the? Gabby does look good. Gabby does look good. 8.5, definitely good. Hmm. Last day says I would say Stephanie and Gabby are the only tens for me at least. Just said Jordan, Sasha, Josh, Sam are all my high eights to tens. Hmm, okay. Dolly says now if we start going into some history books and start pulling from back in the day, a lot of younger girls have trouble. I, I knew waiting for that one. Catway says I said in my video that Nina and Valentine may end up back together. And you will be right. Monique says I prayed to God that Audrey doesn't turn out pregnant with Kyle's child. Oh, then this definitely gonna be a wrap. And Jess probably said yes, Joss. That is very true. I'm gonna try to watch that movie this weekend. I'm gonna try to watch the movie this weekend. Even though I'm gonna be honest, Darby, I'm not a fan of their version of April O'Neil. I'm just I'm gonna watch it though. I'm gonna watch it. Oh, yeah, no, Dolly. Chloe is definitely a 10. Chloe is definitely a 10. Asante says this. True, but not in Billy's job. But watch Jack gonna do it. Darby says, I love Josh too. Psych. My dude pulled out the psych card. Last they said Josh is like a 7, but with that type of personality. Yeah, but okay. Well, personality aside, because we're not doing personality, but yeah, I would sit there and give Jocelyn a 7.5. I'll give her a 7.5. Yeah, no, she's a 10. I love how Darby pulls out the psych card. Darby says, "Is it this or the Emerald Element movie on? Is this or the Element movie on Disney Plus?" Oh yeah, no, she definitely does. She definitely does, Janet. And for me, I always sit there and say a 7 is above average. So she is definitely above average, Janet. I would sit there and say a 7. Yes, I would give her a 7. LA says I'm just talking about looks. I forgot Sam. Damn right, Janet. Damn right. Johnson said true April O'Neil actually was a person of color in the original. I did. I heard about that. And honestly, to tell you the truth, the thing is, Jonathan, the, them race swapping it, whatever. I don't like how they made her look though. I don't like how they made her look. You know, I'll sit there and say that much. Derby says Josh physically is a 9, and you know it. Shit, okay. I don't know about a 9. I don't know about a 9. And she is definitely not a 9. Darby, you're putting her higher than Jordan. And that's a problem. Dolly said Josh is actually really pretty. She's just also I view her as a kid, so it's tough to rate her. Darby says a 9 is my highest score for anyone. Josh is last day says Josh is too annoying. I mean, yeah, if we're going on personality, but Ambassador Sam says she will be Kyle or Tucker's Monique. Okay. Lashanta said, "Does anybody love to see Vicky? Do anybody love to see Vicky don't get her way?" Vicky told Nikki going on. He's not going on no trip. He's not going on no trip. Dolly says, "I'm a big fan of this Naomi Campbell's version of Jordan." I don't get it. Darby says, "Forgive me, ladies, but you wouldn't kick her out of bed, and you know it, Albert." I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't give her a 9. I would give her a 9. 7 is above average. Okay. So 6.5, I would give Liz a 6.5. So I keep putting everything on top of my damn notes for tonight. Why do I keep doing that? But yeah, Cody. Okay, Cody sitting there sleeping on the floor. I was not okay with that. I was definitely not okay with that. I'm like, why are you sleeping on the floor for? Why are you sleeping on the floor for? I mean, you're two grown adults. You're sitting there telling me that you can't handle, you know, 2024. Michael Burton wanted to come back to do it right from I saw a poster for it now. You also said, Mel, did you also said that Silent Hill is actually coming out with another movie? So he said this actress played Jordan as a former runway model. Oh, okay. Toby said, seriously, get your eyes checked, Albert. Oh no, my eyes are definitely checked. Just so yeah, he should just slept in the bed. Yeah, I'm like, you're grown ass adults. Like, I'm not like, bro, I'm not gonna get thrown out my back. What are you nuts? Lashanta says Nikki tried to get Victor to take a month off to cuddle Vicky so she can plot in peace. Just so Albert never gets the jokes. Yeah, I don't. You know me, just being a boomer, right? Jess, I don't get the jokes because I'm a boomer. Monique says off topic. I'm getting the new Mortal Kombat for my birthday. That's what's up. Man, it's been a hot minute since I actually played video games. I still want to get the Spider-Man 2 game. Even though I don't have a PS5, I'll probably get on the PS4 if they have it on there. Liza said, okay, so what do you like about Jaws? And Darby said, just because I find someone annoying last day doesn't mean I can't legitimately hold back their props. Ambassador Sam says Naomi Campbell is a supermodel legend, beautiful, stylish, sophisticated. Actually, I welcome this potential transformation for Miss Trina Robinson. Also, oh yeah, I actually told you. I'm glad you actually said that, Ambassador Sam. I got a new video that I'm going to be putting out tonight. It's another, it's another Trina and Spencer video. It's another Trina and Spencer video. So I'm actually going to be uploading that tonight. So thank you for reminding me of that. Bobby says I want to get the new Tekken 8 when it comes out in January. I was never really good in Tekken. I was more of a like Capcom person. I was never good in Tekken. My friend used to love that game like there was no tomorrow. He was actually very good in it. Like legit very good in it. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna actually put that out for the members tonight. So yes, thank you for letting me know because thank you for bringing that up. Because there's times for some reason that people don't get the notification. Lasanta says, "Oh, Vicky had the nerve to talk about how Victor changed the rules on Adam too. She don't care nothing about him. She said he doesn't deserve the last name. Remember, and she was there. No, no, not a blue, not a blue like confessions. Nope. No, this is just another video. This is just my thoughts on Trina and Spencer's relationship. Yeah, no, it's just not one of those type of videos. I do want to do another. I do want to do another blue light confession at some point soon. Cherry ice cream 7. Yeah, I would sit there and say, yeah, Trina's a 7. She's listen, and I'm going to sit there and specify that again. 6 is average. 7 is above average. Trina is above average. Darby says sunlight. Oh, sunlight thoughts. Nah, I still want to keep it at I still want to keep the name. I like the name. Just oh boy, I hope you're ready for the smoke. I was gonna say, it's actually funny just because I actually thought about that and I was like, I didn't actually say anything bad, but I am talking about Trina and Spencer, so I mean, every time I talk about Trina and Spencer, everything I say just kind of get blown out of proportion because reasons. Monique says, sorry guys, gotta go. Getting sleepy, ready to stay up till the end, but can't do it. It may come on the live stream for my birthday. When I look forward to it. You have a happy birthday tomorrow. Janice said, Trina looks thinner these days. I haven't noticed that. I haven't noticed that. But you could be right, though. And again, it's funny, too, because Jess is like, and I'm like, I don't think I actually say anything that bad, but like I said, when it comes to a sprint, it's like, Ariana says, oh, okay, because you're going to be in. Ariana says, oh, okay, because you be going in under the blue light. Yeah, no, it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be that kind of bird. I mean, it's not gonna be that type of video. Mel says, "All right, I got good news that the return of Silent Hill reboot being filmed by director what does not have any official air date yet, but we'll find. Okay, let me know. A reboot. Well, I'm still looking forward to watching it. I was kind of wishing it was going to be a continuation, but hmm, in the same vein, I can see why they're not going to do a continuation now. Nobody says, Albert, you blasphemous. You blaspheme. What? Blasphemy? No, I don't think that my video is going to be that bad. I really don't. But then again, I never usually do think that my videos are that bad. And of course, things go sideways real quick. So, like Jess says, yeah, I better be prepared for the smoke. But yeah, that is the ups and downs of Snit there being a creator. No matter what you do. Lasanta says RJ's really getting on my nerves, keeps talking about Eric's legacy and what about Stephanie Forrester's LL legacy and Rich been designing for years. I just feel like if they knew it would not be drama. Yeah, I mean I get that part, the miscommunication part. I do. But again I also understand where Rich is coming. I also understand where Eric is coming from. Daughter says, how dare you attack our beloved Trina? Psych. Yeah, that's very true. Man, what you say about Trina, it just goes sideways. Hell, I actually tell you the truth at this point, I feel like I'm already saying too much. And to be honest, that's true. I mean, I don't this is before I started watching the show, so I don't know how much involvement um Stephanie had in the company. Like I said, I get where Eric is coming from. You feel like he's being pushed out. You feel like he's being disrespected. And although I do understand that Rich is to see, that he runs the company, just say you better be prepared. That's true. That's true. And it's the sad thing is that even though it comes across like she's saying like a joke, it's also very serious. And I said, I just watched your video and you hit the nail on the head. Oh, you mean with the Jenny Maya thing? Well, thank you. Thank you for watching. Like I said, I sat there and I looked. I was like, I'm not going to sit there and blame all of their problems on her. We're in a marriage, but the Shanta says if Eric can tell Donna and RJ, he can tell Ridge. Yeah, I mean technically he could. You're right about that. But there's also a certain level of disrespect that Rich had been giving Eric as well. Gemini says Stephanie was the brains and Eric was the designer, so they made it work. Johnson says, I like that they have RJ as one of the central characters in the storyline and not just a supporting character. Yes, I'm glad that they actually have him doing something, which is great. It's amazing. It's like he's been on the show for like a month and a half or maybe 2 months, and they haven't actually given them anything. Now says Albert, let me look more into if Return of Silent Hill is going to be a reboot or a sequel and characters are. Okay, yeah, let me know. Let me know, Mel. I mean, I'm gonna watch it either way. I mean, they could do a reboot. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not usually a fan of reboots. Don't get me wrong. I like the first Silent Hill. I did not like the second Silent Hill. Um, but I did feel like it was a lot more gory and more scary images on the second one. So I give him that. Of course, the tone was better in the first one. Gemini said you didn't, but any problems on her. Gemini says you didn't, but any problems on her. Gemini says you didn't, but any problems on her. But I always say take accountability for your actions and stop pointing fingers at everyone else. Yeah, I understand. She said she grew up with a strong mother figure that was very dominant, and she learned from her mother. But at some point, there's a thing called therapy and taking accountability. She treated her last man like garbage. You think you're just gonna go to the next marriage doing the same thing? Come on. Johnson says, I hope it doesn't take long for us to learn about Luna. I hope not either. I really do. I really hope not as well. Because that is some irritating ash. But here's the thing. Here's the thing on the bright side though, Jonathan. They actually have a new character. See, that's something that I have to sit there and be appreciative of. Okay? It's something I have to be appreciative of. I mean, think about it. When was the last time they actually brought in a new character on The Bold and the Beautiful? Not a returning character, but a new character. They don't do that too often. And then, and then if we're lucky, she won't just be a new character, but she'll be a character with purpose, meaning like they're actually going to give her stuff to do, right? And she's not just going to be a a disappointment. Gemini says I know men who file for divorce because their wives was doing and saying the most Men has feelings also, even though they don't express themselves like women. Just treat people with respect. Exactly. And you know the sad thing is, Gemini. When she said on an interview, she was like, "Oh, you know, I got an attitude with Yeezy. He checked me," and she was like surprised by that. I'm like, "How are you surprised by that? How are you surprised by that?" And she says she has a temper, like it's some sort of cute, like that. That's something to, like that's some sort of cute character trait. I'm very hot tempered. Okay, you wanna try to work on that or something, or I guess you just think you're just gonna railroad, Yeezy like you did the last man. And honestly, hey, Chip, I am glad that you said that, Gemini. Ron says, can't wait for Sloan to get what's coming to her. She should be ashamed of herself trying to keep Eric and Nicole apart by. I agree with that. I agree with that. Lasanta says Stephanie got the money from her dad. He put in he put it in there. She was the sole owner of Forest Creation. Eric hid the papers and she said she would have shared with him. So for Eric to take down so for Eric to talk down to hi? Hmm? Gemini says she was surprised after she was asked him. No, Gemini says she was surprised after she asked him, "Who the f are you talking to?" So many people missed that part. She was surprised, and that's the problem, Gemini. She said that Yeezy was the first person that checked on her attitude. I'm like, well, that's not. I was like, either that's sad because the people that didn't check her, that's the problem. But she got checked though. She didn't listen, but she got checked. Debbie said, "I'm sorry, Sam. I was looking at my TV at the time." Debbie says, "If you're leaving, Sam, good night. If not, keep talking to me, please." Who's Sam? The hell? Um, who's Sam? Ron Albert, did you enjoy the Johnny Schnell scene? Say, no, I didn't really care. I gotta be honest. I could have took or left them. They really didn't add anything to. They didn't do anything for me. I know there's a lot of people that do. Oh, Ambassador Sam. Ambassador Sam. I was like, I didn't even see Ambassador Sam in a hot minute. Oh, good evening. Okay. Lashanta said, I miss Stephanie Forrester. Gemini says, people are surprised by Jenny because black women are the one who's socially painted as having bad attitudes. Hmm. Johnson says, yesterday I saw a little bit of an on-air episode CW pilot called Challenges. It's really brought me back to the Vampire Diaries days. Oh my, I miss those days. Jonathan, Riverdale was like the last of that type of style as far as TV shows that are like 20 something episodes. They will never do that again on the CW. Gemini says now people are going to realize that yep, other cultures have attitudes also. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Gemini. Having a bad attitude is not cute. I mean, no matter what culture you're in, having a bad attitude is not cute. Darby says always fast forward through Johnny and Chanel scenes. Gemini says, where is my lie? You mean like where am I lying? Or where is it I'm lying? Is that what you're saying? No, but I mean just in general, Gemini, it's not cute. You coming into a relationship with masculine energy. At the end of the day, there's only going to be one person having masculine energy. There's only going to be one alpha in a relationship. And I don't think that some people understand that. Ron says, Albert, I realized that you and Phoenix, even Jay Money agree that Sheila is 60 something and he doesn't want her to have a baby. Nobody wants Sheila to have a baby. Letitia says, I wonder if Finn will eventually have to defend himself against Crazy Sheila. That's the only way he's going to get rid of Sheila. That's the only way he's going to get rid of Sheila. Mel says, I know that Rose is trapped in Silent Hill. On the last Silent Hill Revolution movie, that Christopher can find Rose in a new. That's what I'm hoping is the case. That's what I'm hoping is the case. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think I liked the first one, the first Silent Hill, because the ending was so ambiguous. We didn't know if they actually died or they're just trapped in another universe. And I think I don't know. It's one of those times where it's like maybe it wasn't a good idea to actually have a sequel. Oh, watch it though. Johnson says, unfortunately, the CW is not a show of its former self. Yeah, they're just going to be doing cheap content that no one's going to watch. That's like the half hour comedies, the reality shows. F Boys? Really? We went from the Vampire Diaries to F Boys. Ariana said, have a good night. I know what that's like to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I do not envy that. If you have some Starbucks, make sure you think about me. Ron said, Albert, wishful thinking Sheila ain't going anywhere. Well, thank you, Ron, for explaining that to me. Um, I was, you know, but you set me straight, Ron, like you always do. Jimmy says, now back to soaps. CW went down here after Jerry and Murray retired. CW has some good shows. Oh, Murray and Jerry. The definition of trash talk TV. Like literally. LaShanta says, see a lot of people celebrating Jeannie's pain. That's not right. Well, I don't know about that. To be fair, I can understand. Here's the thing, Lashanta. In a perfect world, no. But let's not sit there and try to act like she was a good person. Um, she had a lot of issues. Okay, she treated her last man like garbage. She went into her next marriage thinking she can treat Yeezy with an attitude. Okay, that whole being a boss chick that may work well in a financial situation, but as far as a marriage is concerned, you can't have two alphas. So, well, Ron, I think you're probably the only person that's praying for that. Johnson says the thing that the CW has now aren't doing any better than their than their any of their former shows. Yeah, and I'm not surprised. People, I don't, nobody wants to watch a show called F Boys or some knockoff Survivor. And Johnson says, "I'm so tired of the medication commercials." You mean those little blue pills or something like that? Um, Ariana says, "Albert, I will be thinking." Okay, good. Now, Lashanta says Freddie is bitter because she was with him and she didn't want kids. Then what wound up happening? She didn't want kids, and she met Jeezy, and she pretty much messed up her relationship, and now the kid is gonna be living in a broken home. Saying Gemini says CW problem is that they change the entire network every few years, no consistency. I mean, they had consistency for a while though. Like they really did. They really did for a hot minute. They did. The thing is, they had a loyal fan base, and that's something that you can't sit there and replace. Um, Nelson Albert, it was good that Christopher and Sharon had to change the names for the people, not to find them on Silent Hill. Revolution when they changed their names to Harry and yeah, but it didn't help though. That's the thing, Mel. It really didn't help because they eventually found them anyway. Kelly says about how you put in the blame. Oh no. I'm not putting the whole blame on her. I'm not putting the whole blame on her. I'm saying she didn't help, but I no, cat lady, I'm not putting the whole blame on her. It always takes two. And I always feel like in a story, just to be very clear, cat lady, I'm not putting the whole blame on her. Always believe that there's three sides to a story. I will sit there and say her behavior didn't help the situation. It didn't help the marriage. I'll say that much. Johnson says whatever medical related commercial you see on TV these days, I'm tired of seeing them because there are way too many. Hmm. Honestly, tell you the truth, well, I haven't watched the CW since Riverdale actually went off the air. So, and I always fast forward through the commercials because I have the stuff on DVR. But yeah, no, cat lady, just to answer that question, no, I don't put the whole again, I said that in my video that I don't put the blame on her, all on her. Have a good night, Laura B. No, you have a good night. I will see you hopefully tomorrow. 9 times out of 10, well, again, maybe 7 times out of 10. Gemini says when Jenny was coming up, Jeezy was already an established rapper and Torn making this money. Yeah, and I was going to sit there and say, usually in relationships like that, it does usually sometimes take two people to F up a relationship, but Jenny didn't help by going into her new marriage with things that she was doing from her previous one. Like she was baffled that somebody checked her. Bella says, "Albert, how long do you think that EJ is going to come to his senses of believing that Susan is alive and call off the hunt for Ava?" See, my question is, why should he call off the hunt in general? My whole thing is, even if Susan is alive, they almost killed her. Okay, Xander, Ava almost killed her. So what's the difference if she's dead or alive? I feel like at that point it should be a wrap either way. Johnson says I miss the days when they had comical commercials or sodas and video game commercials. That I agree on. I was never a commercial person, but if I did have to sit through them. Kristen says I knew it. I knew it. Charlotte has the tarot cards. And what is she doing? And yeah, exactly. And what is she doing with those tarot cards? That's the thing. Kristen says Victor left the cards to Sam in his will to be lucky in love. Seems Charlotte has discovered them and may not realize the significance. Yeah, I'm very curious to sit there and see what is she actually going to do with these tarot cards. Does she have Jake under some sort of spell? That is the question. That is the question. What am I doing? Darby said, "Who made those tarot cards anyway?" That's a good question. I don't know if we ever actually going to sit and get the answer to that one. Gemini said, "People outside of rap is seeing Jeezy on Jenny's social media, but those who listen to rap music know Jeezy for sure." You know, I haven't actually got no. I actually haven't got one comment on that video yet. See, I'm not gonna lie. That's the video I'm waiting for smoke on. No, says, I can't wait for the showdown with Jill and May May when they return. I forgot you're a YNR fan. You watch YNR and you watch Days. I don't know if you watch Bold and the Beautiful. Lashanta says, I know he's a rapper, but I can't tell you one song. I watched the reel. Krista said, Helena, Jake, what? Victor, Charlotte, added in, Clickpan, Dante, Jason is all connected. I have no idea who some of those people are. Oh, Caesar. Darby said, do you think Victor messed with his granddaughter's head? Hmm. I mean, anything's possible. Gemini said, just because you see someone on social media or television doesn't mean that they are making a lot of money. They had to invest to keep their money going. That's very true. That Gemini, that is very true. Pele says Helena had those cars and Victor gave it to Valentine. Who made those cards? Uh, Kristen says Victor absolutely could when he had her in boarding school. Possible. Then he says, "How's TikTok going?" It's actually going pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised. I mean, I guess I'm somewhat surprised, but I'm not that surprised. Like my numbers actually do pretty well. Minimum is like maybe 200. The most is like maybe 800. 800 views. Gemini says exactly. Jenny just started making a few more dollars while on the rail and used that platform to do other things and make more money. Kristen said, remember Jake was programmed to set off. Oh, at the nurses' ball. Okay. Hmm. Bachelor Sam's, good night. Gemini, 4 a.m. Respect. Yep, that's why I made. That's why I made the video. When being a boss chick goes wrong, being a boss chick goes wrong. Krista said Helena and Peter were the ones that were using the tarot cards. It involved Drew and Jason and Patient Six. Patient Six. Have a good night, Dave. Danny says yes, TikTok can be tough and usually they pull 200 views. Most TikTok users, yeah. I, to be fair, yes, most of them. But I've seen a couple of TikTok people that haven't even got 200. So, but I do like posting some videos on TikTok because those are videos I usually don't post on YouTube. Johnson says the 7 commercials were funny. Yep, if you're a 90s kid, early 2000s, you know about them. You know about them. Someone else says, Albert, I left your comment on the video, but it looks like I was on live. Check your settings on the video. Okay. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Gemini. Thank you. Andrea's in the chat. What's good, Andrea? Thank you for leaving a comment. Jenny says, have a TikTok, but do not use it because felt like they were going to check my comments. Hmm. Like I said, if what you call is working for you, and Andrea is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Kristen says, remember those mentals? Oh yes. Oh Jesus Christ! Yes. So you're a '90s kid. You're from the '90s. You know. No, I guess not. I talked to him today though. I talked to him today. General says, our YouTube is always making changes, so check your settings before you upload. Yeah, yeah, I definitely will. Usually, what I do is even before I upload it, I put it on unlisted just to make sure that the video is going to clear. Because YouTube is ever changing. So yes, thank you, Gemini. So I quick said that bullhead creep hasn't been on in a while. Danny says from the '90s too, but like more '80s music and '60s and '70s music. Yeah, I usually stop after the '90s. There may be like one. There may be like a handful of songs I'll sit there and listen to from the '80s, but '90s and then moving up is generally why I am. It is weird though, cause like I'll sit there and listen to music and like I'll go through phases. Where I'll sit there and listen to music for like a week, and then I may not listen to music for like maybe months. I only recently started listening to music again. Johnson says it's interesting to know that every time you saw promos back in the day for shows like American Idol, the announcer was Orpheus from Days. Really? Like Prince music. Yeah, I used to like a lot of Michael Jackson music, and then I grew up and kind of realized all the history that he did, and then I kind of like Michael Jackson anymore. What kind of music do I like? Rap, hip hop, pop, rock. I'll listen to some country every now and then. I think I'll say tell you the truth, I like a bit of everything. I like a bit of everything. Kristen says my 15-year-old daughter and I was just talking about music is really good. Up until the early 2000s, then it's terrible. Thank you, Darby. Thank you. Yes, hit the like button. If you're coming in, make sure you hit the like button. Slide Quick says, what's your favorite singer and rapper? I don't have one. I really don't. I don't have any favorites. Jakaris, you know, Jakaris actually saw you on Candace Mack's live stream on Instagram because for some odd reason people still go to I don't know. I was kind of surprised I actually saw her on Instagram now. But now it's like I don't actually I have some that I listen to. I would actually have to sit there and think about that and get back to you. I don't have favorites, but I do have people that I guess I do listen to. So I guess they would be somewhat favorites. Like Quick says, okay, I guess you're sticking to no favorites. No, I can't think of them off the top of my head. That's all. Like I was listening to what the hell was I listening to yesterday? LL Cool J and Tupac and Ice T. I'm cool with LL Cool J and Ice T. Tupac, no. I'm more of a Biggie fan. I like Biggie. I like Biggie Smalls. Jakar said I just uploaded Days reviews on my channel. Okay. But yeah, if I had to sit there and say maybe one person, I would sit there and say Biggie Smalls. I was always a fan of his growing up. And I like LL Cool J. Hmm. Ice T is okay. Can't do Tupac though. But yeah, I saw Candace Mack on Instagram. I don't know. I can't imagine actually going back to doing Neil. Yeah, Neil is another person I like. Um I can't imagine going back to doing Instagram live streams. Like live streams on Instagram. I can't imagine going back to I feel like it'll be going backwards. Um Kristen says the only current music we like is in Christian music. And he said do not like Taylor Swift. Yeah, I'm more of a Katy Perry fan, to be honest. Jimmy says I enjoy Michael Jackson music for sure. Uh, can't do it. Can't do Michael. I used to like his music, but then like his weirdness in real life really messed that up for me. Lashanta says LK. Oh, LO. Oh yeah, no, I used to like LL Cool J's music. And he says, "Have you tried Instagram Reels?" No, not really. I feel like it's just going backwards. You know, I used to do live streams on Instagram, and the only thing I do now is I post pictures on Instagram. But I don't see a purpose of actually doing other than posting pictures. I see no purpose of actually going doing anything on Instagram. Mel says I love Eminem. Yeah, Eminem is good. I like Eminem. Joanna says you can't play Michael Jackson in a party without a dancer for sure. Oh, the hell I can. The hell I can. Joanna says, Albert, they all have weirdness. Yeah, but there's certain weirdness that's just I can't rock with. Like I don't okay, it's like I don't like Mariah Carey, but I can listen to some of her old music. Danny says do not like Facebook Reels. Yeah, I haven't really been on Facebook to be honest. The only time I go on Facebook is to talk to people. Keisha Cole. I don't think I've heard one song that she has ever sang. Gemini says shoe prints or heels, high heels, and women love him. Oh, the infamous Prince versus Michael Jackson. Kristen said, did anyone have a Paul Charles flashback today seeing Lucy and Scotty together on that? Said all that was missing was Serena. You're right. You know what? You know, Kristen, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I remember the lighting was different back then. The lighting was much different back then. That show. Now, Lashanta says, I like both. If I had to sit there, and unfortunately, I can't listen to Michael anymore because of his weirdness. Music-wise, I would sit there and say Michael. The one and only Kyrie Clark is in the chat. Then he says, I do not like Snapchat. Why don't you like Snapchat? Gemini says, I enjoy both Prince and Michael, not comparing at all. I do. Danny said, I do not like Snapchat. Like, I don't like Snapchat. Noah says, I love the cranberries. I don't remember them that well. I heard of that group, but just don't remember them. Kristen says, every time I see that set, I'm transported back to the days of the soap Port Charles and all the shenanigans that followed. Yep, like magical candles, angels, vampires, being stuck in mirrors. Emily was good. Kristen says Snapchat disappears too quickly. Yeah, I don't like that. That's something I will sit there and say. I don't like that. That's why I only did it to stay connected to certain people, but in reality, no. Curry says Wendy is dumb. I thought EJ was going to kill her. I wouldn't have cared if he did. Thank you, Kyrie's. Danny said they have lots of bad things, not real people. Text me asking my personal information stuff have to block them. That's why. Yeah, well, yeah. To be fair, yeah, I do get that. Um, they also do that. They also do that on what you call it though, on Instagram a lot. Lashanta said Kevin Hart said it best. You gotta separate the art from the artist. It's hard to do that though. I get it. I get it, Lashanta. In certain cases, I probably could, and I shouldn't. Like with the Cosby Show. Like I could watch the Cosby Show, but that's because um, have different um, views as far as Cosby is concerned. I'll put it that way. Jimmy says, who remembers when GH had the night shift? Oh, I used to love that show. They had it on DirecTV. Gabby says, how many minutes did we talk about Kyle&Summer today? A grand total of 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes. Carrie says, has the Queen just made an appearance? Yeah, she was here all night. I don't know if she's still here, but she was here all night though. And actually, funny, Kyrie's Spider-Quick was asking about you. Spider-Quick was asking about you. He was like, oh, I guess Kyrie's is showing up tonight. Emily says, I'm about tired of Kyle&Summer. Gemini says to me, Gemini says so many persons love Elvis, but if they only knew what he used to do. Yeah, Yeah, you. Ooh, Gemini, you are so right. Curry says I was watching All Elite Wrestling. Gemini says no one really cares about Kyle&Summer. Lashanta said he said name a comedian not on his wall. He said Bill Cosby is on his wall. Emily says I'm about tired of Kyle&Summer, but mainly Kyle. I don't blame you. Lashanta said exactly. Elvis got tons of fans. You know the thing is though, Lashanta, I think some of their fans know what Elvis did and they don't care. I think they love Elvis so much that they don't care about the stuff that he did. I don't get that, but oh, trust me, Mel, America remembers that. Lionheart saw Charlotte under a spell with those tarot cards. I feel like Jake is under Charlotte's spell with those tarot cards. Kristen says anyone like Donna Lewis music. I have no idea who that is. Johnson says actually thought we would see Nicole and Eric run into each other today. I'm not gonna lie, I always dread whenever they run into each other. I really do. It's so uncomfortable to sit there and watch them. Emily says Billy and Chelsea need more screen time. Yeah, whenever she gets back from her maternity leave. Whenever she gets back from her maternity leave. How much more minutes do we have? All right, I'll be right back. Yeah. Hi, Andrea. How you doing again? Yeah, I have no idea who Donna Lewis is. Blowing his nose. Um, who's blowing their nose? Darby says both MJF. Okay. Lasanta says I like Teresa, but she's shady. I don't like the fact that she's following. Well, I don't like how desperate she is to sit there and try to get Brady back. Johnson says so chat without a bus and now continues. Johnson, I mean, Harry says Johnny upgraded when he got wished out. Yeah, yeah, that's actually very true. Krista said Donna Lewis was 90s, early 2000. I'll have to sit there and take a look at this person. But yes, I 100% agree with that. 100% agree with that. Harriet says, I also don't care for Talia's tears. She did what she did. Now deal. See, Kyrie, this is exactly why we get along. This is exactly why we get along. Effing exactly why we get along. If this effing phone, this is Donna Lewis. I'm gonna have to sit there and listen to some of her music tonight. Lashanta says Sharon needs to have several seats. Oh. Harry says, with her lack of maturity, how the hell is she a doctor? Yeah. See, that's the problem. Krista said Jewel was great. Oh yeah, no, I remember Jewel. I remember Jewel. She's upbeat pop. Oh, Krista. Back in the days, the early 90s, 2000. I swear, I feel like TV was so different. Things that they did back then, you cannot get away with today. But yeah, no, I agree with that though. Jordan said, "Do you think Bella will be upset with Talia when she left?" Absolutely. Jonathan, literally, she was the only person that would represent Talia. Yeah, she's gonna be pissed. WC says, "Who's the worst father of daytime, Victor or Sonny?" Victor. I'm gonna sit there and say right now, Victor. Is exactly. I didn't even have to look at your answer. Lashanta says, "I love Celine Dion." Yeah, she's also pretty good. Also, Sarah McLaughlin. I think that's the name. Sarah McLaughlin is also really good. Jenna says, Albert, and that's the problem that I have because when it's a black artist, they want to end their career and take everything away, but others get past. Elvis is one for sure. Yeah, like I said, Gemini. I here's the thing, Gemini. I feel like again, people know what Elvis were. If you here's the thing, if you were a true Elvis fan, you know what Elvis did. You just didn't care. Oh God, Jonathan, yes, Belle. I keep saying Bella. I keep saying Bella, Jonathan. I don't know why. I keep saying effing Bella. Effing Twilight. Gemini says, I think Gemini is worse because Sonny lets his kids live. Oh yeah, no, Victor's definitely worse. Yeah, no, Gemini. I'm a Celine Dion fan. Krista says, I agree, Albert. It's almost like pre 9/11, post 9/11, then colliding with the social media and technological boom. Lashanta said Tiffany Haddish needs help. Where's her friend at? Where's her friends at? Gemini said we had no filters in the 90s TV show and I enjoyed it. Yes, that's very true. That's very true. We wouldn't have got shows like Martin and Marry with Children. And those are just the shows that I can sit there and think of. Because I felt like those shows were very extreme. They were very extreme. Probably Marry with Children way more. Valerie's in the chat. What's good, Valerie? Yes. Yeah, Mad TV. That show definitely would not have. Um, there, there was some jokes on Mad TV that. Yeah. Oh, LaShanta Archie Bunker. Yo. Krista says post 9/11 changed everything. I mean, it did change everything, but like, but I'm just. I mean, I'm talking. Technology also changed a lot of stuff as well. Technology it gave Karens a voice. It gave Karens a bigger voice. LaShanta said to Jeffersons, "Yep, we wouldn't have had that." Darby says that's what Belle gets for defending her. Those do-gooder those do-gooder types always made bad choices of friends, and she always comes at Xander. Woo Bell. Johnson says even SNL had edgier stuff back in the day. You know what's actually really interesting about that show, Jonathan, is that every now and then they can be funny. Adam Driver, I think his name is Adam Drive. He did a couple of skits on SNL back in the day, and they were funny as hell. Like every now and then, SNL can actually be funny, which I find very surprising. Yep, it's true, Chris. It's true, Kristen. Jonah says 9/11 in the East Coast blackout changed everything. Hmm. That was one shot. I mean, that was one shot. I don't think I was able to really get into. Was the Golden Girls? What was it? Okay, what was the show with Valerie Burton and some other people? I just remember one of the women's name was Valerie Burton. I can't remember. Designing Women. That show was okay. I remember that show being slightly funny. Gemini says, I enjoyed the F out of Married Children. America enjoyed the F out of Married Children. Married Children was one of those shows where it's like, oof. You, I watch clips of that show and I'm just like, man, there's so many things that you just get canceled for. Gemini says technology changed a lot. Yep. It gave Karens a voice. Jonathan, you remember how that show ended? Remember how that show ended? I think that might have been one of the saddest endings for a comedy. That might have been among the saddest endings for a comedy, Jonathan. If you remember how it ended. Now 90210, yes. Party of Five, yes. Dawson's Creek, I didn't watch. Buffy the Vampire Diaries, didn't watch. Mary's Place, I watched. Angel, I didn't watch. And yes, Jonathan, unhappily. Let's be honest. That was pretty much kind of like Married Children now. Let's be very clear. Let's just be very. That show was literally just like Married Children now. Jonathan. Asante said you can't tell jokes no more. Richard Pryor. Gemini says SNL was funnier. Here's the thing. I'm just surprised when SNL is actually funny in general. Exactly, Jonathan. I sat there. I was like, yo. As a kid, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is sad. Krista says Dawson's Creek was actually good. I do. One day, I actually do. Actually do. No, it was no, Lashant. I think it was called Designing Women. I live from us CTV and TGIF. Yeah, I was a kid back then, so TGIF was just great. Darby said, we as a society has collectively lost our thick skin and become so offended at anything so easy now we can't make television anymore. You're right. We can't. And that's the thing. If it's too edgy, it gets canceled. Saying when it's not edgy enough, then people get bored. Johnson says, everybody hates Chris was also funny. I'll take your word for that. I don't know. Somewhere along the line, I just think that Chris Rock just stopped being funny to me. Tracy Steves in the chat was good. Tracy Steves. Lashanta said, no, I used to watch it. Oh, okay. Tracy says, love TGIS and designing women. See, yes. And Double C, One Tree Hill was my show. One Tree Hill and Gossip and the original Gossip Girl was my show. Mel says, I love X Files. Yes. One Tree Hill. Yes. OC, I didn't watch. Kyle XY, I did watch. Yes, I did. Wow. We pretty much almost have the exact same shows. Harry says, so it seems like Victoria was running Newman down to the ground. That's why Victor had to sell his investments in Chancellor Winters. Gemini says, I grew up in the 60s and the 70s women, so I grew up in a home with no filters. And holiday gardening was holiday gatherings was funny, was fire and funny. Yeah, I used to watch it. I used to watch that as a kid. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of stuff actually did go over my head. Lashanta says, look out one day at a time. I will definitely do that. And ever would. All right. I heard about that, but I never actually got a chance to watch that show. I heard about it though. It seemed like a show I was gonna like though. He said the company was disjointed. Double C says that's why I can care less about the writer's strike. Double C says that's why I can care less about the writer's strike. All the good shows are going and all or most of the shows on YouTube. I also didn't say this, Double C. I'm done with this strike at this point. I'm done with the strike at this point. And I know people I'm just done. I know a lot of people Smith they're still doing this whole virtual signaling thing. I support the writers, I support the writers. Yeah, that's cool. But at this point, I'm just done. I'm just done. So I think they both need to sit there and come to some sort of arrangement and just get this is done. Because I'm done. I'm sick of it. Kristen says, anyone watch Revenge? I heard that was a good show. Lashanta said Delta Burke was on Designing Women. I could have swore she was on an episode of Johnson says the early 2010s was where the CW was at its peak. Herbert, 1 year, yes, Full House, and Beauty and the Beast, yes, and Smallville. Why is this going so? Krista says, who was an NBC versus CBS or ABC lineup for fans? I was NBC Thursdays, ABC Fridays, and usually CBS, then Fox, then WSB when teen soaps were big. Now, Valerie says, must see TV, definitely Frasier and ER. I used to love ER. I used to listen. ER used to be my show. Valerie said they just canceled the Black Wonder Years. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm really not. Kristen says ER was my favorite. Never got into Chicago Hope or NYPD Blue or Blue Bloods. Yeah, ER was my show as well. I used to love ER. Double C says anybody watch Dallas. Barry says I can't wait to review The Young and the Restless tomorrow. Some good stuff's going down. I look forward to it. Part of me was gonna sit there and review it today, but I didn't have time. And I already did so many videos. I was just like, you know what, let me just kinda chill on that. Yeah, I used to like Doogie House as well now. Damn. That was like in the 80s. That's before they decided to make this reboot of Doogie Howser or whatever the hell they want to sit there and call it on Disney Plus. Yeah, Gemini, they did. W Double C says, anyone heard a show called Battle of the Network Stars? I was an outlooker track and field. I was outdoor track and field shows that all three network competed against each other. I loved it. Harry says, I wasn't hurt. I wasn't here for the Harris acting like a virgin today. I don't get it. Johnson says Fox used to be the network for teen dramas in the early days. Then, when they got older, skew dramas, this WB became the new home for teen dramas. Knight Rider was my show. Knight Rider is my show. Double C. Knight Rider and Highlander. I don't know if anyone remember Highlander, but Knight Rider and Highlander was my show. Oh, Gemini, you know it's actually really funny? They're actually coming out with a new Frasier. Thank you for reminding me. I gotta sit there and see the previews. Gemini, yeah, if you like the old school Frasier, they're bringing it back. Kristen says, anyone see? I didn't even actually look at that comment. Um, Kyrie said Harris and Abel in Days of Our Lives. And my dude Harris, about to throw his back because he don't want to sit there and sleep in the bed. Hawaii 5-0. Are you talking about the new one or the old one? Scandal. Valerie says, love mad about you. Damn, what's the name of that chick though? That was my girl back in the day. I used to love that woman, but I can't remember her. What's the woman from Mad About You? What's her name? What's the name of the woman from Mad About You? Mel says, I love Small Wonder, yes, The Simpsons, and King of the Hill, and Futurama. I used to love The Simpsons, but then I just outgrew it. Helen Hunt, thank you. Yeah, Helen Hunt used to be my chick back in the day. Thank you, Valerie. That used to be my chick back in the day. Mel says, I love South Park. I can't get into South Park. There's some funny stuff when I go over my friend's house and watch it, but I couldn't sit there and just watch it, you know? Johnson says we probably won't talk about the 70s show right now. Oof. Well, to be fair, Jonathan, I never actually watched that show. So, even before that stuff. Now, Kristen says Growing Pains, Coach, and Step by Step. Yeah, I used to watch all of them. Carrie says Harris was acting like a virgin, scared to be in bed for the first time. By boy, get his big. Yeah. Here's my whole thing, Carrie. I just didn't like the fact that he was sleeping on the couch. Like you're a grown ass adult. Like why are you sleeping on the couch for? Like it made no sense. The same thing with Cody and Sasha today. Yeah, Mel, that used to be a good show back in the day. And hang on, Mr. Cooper. See, Jonathan, this is why we get along. This is why we get along. Because not that many people actually know about hanging with hanging with Mr. Cooper. This is why we get along, Jonathan. Mel says, "I love Felicia." Hmm. I didn't watch that show. I didn't think it was a bad show. I just didn't watch it. Like I didn't watch Dawson's Creek, and that seemed like a good show. Valerie says, "Remember that talking dinosaur?" We were just talking about that. Valerie, remember how that show ended? Remember how that show ended? Yeah, I know he was. I know he was thinking trying to do all chivalrous and everything like that. But I'm like, Mel says, "I love Boy Meets Girl, Girl Meets World." Yeah, I used to like Boy Meets World. There was it was gonna be a cold day in hell before I actually watched Girl Meets World. But and yes, Jonathan, Perfect Strangers. Damn, that is. I was gonna sit there and say I was two for two, but you named a lot of shows that actually I used to watch. And my guy Jonathan went old school. Jesus Christ. Christmas, my favorite show as a teenage girl was Just Want to Have Fun, starring Helen Hunt and Sarah Jessica Parker. That was my show back then. And Mel says Alf. Yep, that was kind of a weird show. I used to watch that show back in the day. Oh, Jonathan, I got one for you. This is from the '80s, I think. Um, My Secret Identity. I gotta look that show up. Yeah, I never actually watched that show. And LaShawn, I tried to watch that show, but I was a kid, so it just didn't work for me. I don't want you to play music. God. Oh, not familiar with that one. Okay. Wow. Okay. Oh, idiot. There we go. Man, this show looks cheesy as hell. Ooh. I just started looking at a little bit of that show. I was like, man, that show looks. Kristen says Benson, Alf, Punky Brewster, and Mr. Belvedere. I did watch Mr. Belvedere, but I'm not gonna lie, Jonathan. After I started watching the one on Netflix, I can't go backwards. Like I watched Sabrina Teenage Witch on Netflix. I can't go backwards. Harry says I was so tempted to do a days review just to rash Wendy's. Oh, you should have done that. You should have done that. Fraggle Rock. No. Oh, I remember Blossom. I remember Blossom, Jonathan. Exactly. That's why I said, Darby, my dude was going old school. I can't believe my secret identity missed you though. Okay. Mel says, I love Sabrina Teenage Witch. Curse explains it all. Yes. Salute your shorts. Yes. Pumpkin Booster and 15. Just said Blossom. I don't know. I feel like that might have been before your time. I feel like that might have been before your time. The Nanny just says one of the Powerpuff Girls. Charmed. If we're talking the old school one, yes. Nanny, I can't get past that laugh. Harry says, "Don't worry, Wendy's not going to be spirit through." Okay, I want to make sure because I'm gonna look forward to your Days of Our Lives review, Carries. Yep, like Ren and Stimpy. Jonathan, remember Ren and Stimpy? Kristen says, "I still have the Blossom hat." Yeah, no, I was gonna sit there and say that's before our time. That is before our time. Charlie's Angels. We're talking about the old school one, right? Like the '70s one. But yeah, like Ren and Stimpy. What the Darby says Blossom was who she was before she married Sheldon. Terry says it's coming after I hit 300 mark. Like I said, bro, you are you surpassed Pier 54. I just want to sit there and point it out there again, Karis. You literally surpassed Pier 54. And they've been doing that for years. Wonder Woman. That show looked cheesy as hell, but so did Batman also. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Jonathan. I mean, granted, that show used to be funny, but that show, let's be honest, Jonathan, you know damn well that show should not have been on Nickelodeon for kids. Maybe teen kids, maybe like Nick Teen, but like for kids, that show was not supposed to be on Nickelodeon. And all, I used to love that show. Didn't they actually have a reboot of that? Roger says Rocket, Rockford Files, Ironside, and Columbo. Oof, Columbo. I remember that show. And Ironside a little bit, but mostly Columbo. Johnson says, "Good question for you. Goosebumps? Or are you afraid of the dark?" Oh man, that's a tough one. Damn, damn. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta get. If I went what scared me more, I would sit there and say Goosebumps. But I used to love Are You Afraid of the Dark though. Damn, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they're both ties, to be honest. What about you, Jonathan? I can't. I seriously cannot tell. Doug, Rugrats, and Dara. Yeah, they were all good shows. Jess is going with Goosebumps. Valerie says Benny Hill. Oh damn. Krista said I have all my brother's Goosebumps books for my kids. I'll be honest. The books are actually really creepy. The books are creepy. Johnson says I watched more of Are You Afraid? I watched both of them. I watched both of them. I would sit there and put them in. I would put them as a tie. Carrie says Mark mom is coming to Young and the Restless as an on-screen character. I hope she is a long-loved relative of Adams. He needs true love once. That's gonna be interesting. Cat Lee says Elf. No, yeah, no, they were both good shows. That is a good question. I gotta sit there and put them at a tie. I don't put most shows at a tie too much, but I gotta put those at a tie though. She appears in October. Okay. Every says now Benny Hill is a show that would get canceled today. I never heard of it, but if it was from a time before the '90s or a time before the year 2000, then yeah, it definitely would have been canceled. Krista says my brother is the quintessential '90s kid. Pokemon, Barney, Power Rangers, and TMT. Yep, that seems like my shows. Jess says I can't wait for October for all the scary movies. Same. I wish we said Tales from the Crypt. I mean, Tales from the Crypt. See, that show, I couldn't watch the beginning. Like the intro to that show used to always be so cheesy. It would sometimes put me out of whatever the episode was. Johnson says maybe Mark Mon will play an aunt of Adams from his mother's side of the family. Krista says Power Rangers or VR Troopers. I'm going with Power Rangers. I rewatched some scenes from VR Troopers and it's bad. It's bad. Like they're bad. Like bad. I mean, it was an interesting little concept. Um, actually, what's one of the first Carly was from VR Troopers. Was from the show VR Troopers. I can't remember her name, but have a good night, Aunt Pop. The hell was her name though? Johnson says Batman animated series, Dragon Ball Z, and Johnny Quest. Yes, yes, and yes. And you're talking about the new Johnny Quest one, right? Sarah Brown, thank you, Kristen. Ooh, Kyrie's. I mean, Jonathan. I didn't actually really like Beetleborgs, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with VR Troopers. I'm gonna go with VR Troopers. I wasn't. Beetleborgs didn't do anything for me. Darby says, "I wish they would give Esther a love interest so she can mind her own damn business." I don't. Yeah, when you said Esther, I was like, oh yeah, she's that woman that they bring in every now and then. Yeah, Sarah Brown. Thank you, Darby. Harry says, I read that Nikki was nothing but nasty to Adam's mother. Hope back in the day, that's easy to believe. Yeah, yeah, it is. It Nikki is definitely a piece of work. Mel says good news. How about I got good news? There'll be another Goosebumps movie is coming. Yeah, I saw the previews towards that. Yeah, no, I remember who she is. It took me a minute, Darby. Johnson says, I get it. You're already a teen when beat. Yeah, exactly. It was one of those things like it generally just missed the mark, you know. And how even back then for a while I was just like, oh, I'm going with Pokemon double thing. I'm going that's an easy question, Pokemon. Um, I think honestly, tell you too, by that time, Jonathan, I was starting to kind of phase out of even the Power Ranger stuff. Bachelor Sam, NCIS, yes. 24, Prison Break, Stargate, Highlander, Survivor. I used to love Highlander. And Adam's mother, Hope, was blind. Yeah, I heard about that, Jonathan. But yeah, no, that I gotta yeah, I gotta go with Pokemon. The old one. Okay, cool. I mean, I wasn't a fan of the new Roswell. I really wasn't. I really was not a new fan of the new Roswell. Kristen said Dominic Zamboni was in Battlestar Galactica. Yes, he was also. You know, honestly, tell you the truth, Kristen, he was also in another show too. He was in a show called Edgemont. I don't think anyone here knows about that. But he used to be in another show with Kristen Kirk on a show called Edgemont that lasted longer than I thought it actually was. Carrie says I watched Boy and the Beautiful today as well. I get Lee is his mother, but how is she basically going to encourage him? I sat there and said the same thing. I was like, she just after a while she just kept babbling, and it just made no sense. Darby says Dante was as who? I can't remember the character his name played on, but Johnson says and Dominic played Bruno Manhigh on. Really? Man, that must have seriously went over my head because I know I was watching General Hospital back then. Kristen says, "What about Xeon?" Yep, it is on my Disney Plus thing. I was looking at it. Yeah, but I didn't know that though. Man, like I said, that must have really jumped over my head. Just say yes, Kristen. I remember those movies. Yeah, it was three of them. Very, very, very young Kristen Storm. Double C says, funny how Nikki treats Adam, but she wants Victor to respect. Dylan, her son, was Paul. Is that well? Of course, because that's her blood. That's her blood. Harry says she claims she raised him to do right and be a doctor. Yet the minute he resort to murder, knowing he can spend the rest of his life. Yeah, it made no sense. And the thing is, she didn't even sit there and say it outright. Like she didn't even sit there and say it. She was just like, "You need to take care of her. You need to sit there and do this. You need to sit there and separate yourself." I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. After a while, I was getting kind of annoyed that everyone kept raking him by the coals. Like he gave her a hug. That was it. The only thing he did was give this woman a hug and thanked her for saving Kelly's life. People acting like he committed like one of the deadly seven sins or something. Andrea says Batman. What about Batman? Kristen said Dominic played James. Johnson says I think his movie premise was a year before he joined GH. Okay. Double C says I saw that show Edgemont with Grace. Oh, okay. So yeah, I was gonna sit there and say I was gonna sit there and say I think only one person in this chat knows about that show. Yo, Grace Parker was in it. Kristen Krug was in it, and Dominic was in it. I think some other people was in it, but to be honest, I don't really remember. That was a weird show, though. That was a very weird show, and most people don't know about who Grace Park is. So I give you points for that. Kristen say Kristen Storm grew up here in Orlando, where I grew up. Her dad was the local weather guy. I remember when they left to go to Hollywood to help her make it big. Hmm. Johnson says, "I remember Edgemont had a character name." Oh, so okay, so you do remember? Okay, so you do remember Edgemont. I had a feeling you remember who. I remember. I had a feeling you remember the show Edgemont. You didn't say anything, and I was like, "You usually know about those shows." Harry says Sheila did make one point though. Steffi always makes Finn beg for her love. That's not cool. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. But their relation, like the way that she's fixating on um on Finn is so weird. Johnson says Radio Free Roscoe. There we go. Jesus Christ, that's old. Not that many people actually remember that show. What? Okay, Jonathan. What was the name of the other show though? I think it was called South. No, what was the? Okay, what's the name of the other show? I can't remember it. But the guy from General Hospital, Griffin used to be on that show. The guy from Griffin, the guy who played Griffin used to be on that show. I just can't remember it. The hell was the name of that show? I think you know what I'm talking about, Jonathan. Kristen said Kristen's dad name is Mike Storm. I have no idea what that is. Carrie says, "Oh yeah, when I was watching GH, I thought of you when I saw Maxie. Yeah, you're on to something with the whole adjustable floor thing. Yeah, I was and like, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. That's just the truth. Listen, back in the day, I would sit there and say she was a seven. I would sit there and say she was a seven. They would sit there and say she was a seven. Have a good night, Kristen. It was good to see you. I hope I get to see you tomorrow. Yeah, that was good. That was good, Jonathan. That was good. Jesus, that's South of Nowhere. Yes, that was another good show, and you always manage to impress the hell out of me. I don't know how you do it, Jonathan. I really don't. Back when Teen Nick was actually something else. Black Mike, you know about that show too. That's what's up. That's what's up. That was a good show back in the day. I mean, all reality, none of those shows was as good as Degrassi, but they had their own little interesting niche. So I give them props for that. Johnson says back when the channel was called The N. Yeah, see, you can even let's be honest. You can even name that. You can even name that show The N anymore. Instant Star. See, I never actually watched that show. It looked like it was an interesting show. I don't know. I think I had certain shows that I watched and I just kind of stuck with them. Harry says Maxie still looks better than Marrige. I don't know. Man, that's kind of a tough one. I don't know. They may actually almost be in the same boat as far as numbers is concerned. Darby says, well, the guy who played Angel was the son of Philip Weatherman, too. Mel says, I love Finger. Oh, Fringe, Bones, Nip Tuck, Archer, Medium, Dark Angel, Firefly, Sliders. He's loved that show. Doctor Who, Sanctuary, Beavis and Butthead, Lost, Moesha, Two and a Half Men. I used to love that show, Sliders. Uh, Double C's Jessica Lucas from Gotham was on Edgemont as well. Oh, Jessica Lucas, yeah, that girl was kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie. Johnson said the end also had animated shows like Oh Grady. I never remember. Oh yeah, I didn't hear about that one. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you. Seriously, let's everyone thank Tracy Staves. That is wow. Brooklyn, I was sitting and say Brooklyn's like a 6.5. Yeah, I was sitting and say maybe I was sitting and say she's a 6.5. Thank you again, Tracy. Thank you so much. Kyrie says Maxie's a 4 and Winnie's a 3. I'll take I'll take back the better than. Yeah, seriously, let's thank Tracy. That is amazing. Animorphers. I briefly saw that show. I remember that show. Um, I never actually got a chance to watch it though, but I do remember that though. Debbie says, I can't believe when they were auditioning for Wendy that they couldn't find somebody Asian who looks better and had a personality that attracts you. Wendy is a blob of uncharismatic. Of uncharisma. Yeah, seriously. Thank Tracy. Double C's remember the box. Music television that you control. No. Harry says we can't be the only ones that that dislike Wendy. Oh no, we're definitely not. We definitely are. We definitely are not. I don't. I don't think that. Hmm, no, I have to put Wendy up there. Like I said, Wendy's like hmm, maybe a 5.5, like an adjustable 5. She's an adjustable 5. Yes, exactly. Let's thank Tracy. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Animaniacs. Yes, I remember Animaniacs. That show is actually still on. I mean, like they put it back on. Johnson says, I remember the box. It was a music video channel. Well, like Much TV. I think that's what he used to call it, Much TV. Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't. Yeah, wow. Harry says adjustable 5 blank. Oh my God, I love that answer. I love that answer. My dude said an adjustable 5 black ass. That's funny. Yeah, see, you remember that channel. It was, you know what it was? It was like it was like the Canada's version of MTV. You know, when MTV used to actually make music, do music. W says no adjustable anything for Wendy. Straight for period. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Johnson says, from what I understand, the box became MTV2. Oh, okay. SCTV. Darby says Friday night videos. Oh, Kyrie's is something else. I love it. Yeah, I remember they came out with MTV Part 2, and then they started doing reality TV shows on there. Then they had to make an MTV Part 3, and they just kept doing it. Yeah, I wonder what the tarot cards are for. Mel says, I love Dead Zone. Being Human, yes. Salem Lot, True Blood, Supernatural, yes. Dexter and House. Oh, I can't rewatch House. I can't rewatch House. I can't do it. Remember, too many memories. It was a show I used to sit there and watch with my ex. So I can't watch that. Anyway, as fun as this is, I'm going to call it. I'm sorry, what? Harry says Cyrus look better than Wendy. And Diane Jenkins pissed me off today. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, she was kind of annoying. Johnson says there was a short live action show called Wolf Lake. Wolf Lake? I gotta take a look at that. I gotta take a look at that. Thank you, Jonathan. But yes, as fun as this was, I think I'm gonna sit there and end the live stream here. But thank you everyone for joining. This was so much fun. And yeah, get some rest. Uh Johnson says it was on CBS and UPN. UPN. Hey, we all know what UPN stands for. Um, have a good night, Cat Lady. Have a good night, Jonathan. Have a good night, Kyrie's. Thank you again, Tracy Steves. Oh my God, that was so amazing. Oh, wow, I'm going to look at that. Yes, thank you. Thank you, good night, Andrea. Thank you, good night, Cherry Ice Cream. Have a good night, Quiet Guy. Have a good night, Blackmon. Have a good night, Mel, my horror queen. What the Johnson says, join us next time. Join us next time for another edition of Soul Chop with Abu Bostic. And thank you, Cat Lady. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hit the like button on the way out. It really does actually help. So, what the Carrie says, well, Cyrus is a 2 and Wendy is a 3, but I'm deducting Wendy's hideous personality and voice of Cyrus looks better as a character. Oh my God. Have a good night, Tamara. Have a good night, Tracy again. Have a good night, Darby. Have a good night, Black Mon. Have a good night, Cat Lady. Have a good night, Jess, the goddess. Have a good night, Ambassador Sam. Have a good night, Andrea. And if I didn't sit there and say who you were, don't take offense to that. Yes, hit the like button on the way out. Also, make sure you share the videos. We got 10 people last time to share the videos, and they've definitely been helping. We got some new people in it tonight because people were sharing the videos. So thank you, everyone. And yeah, Carrie says, good night, Queen Jess. Good night, Darby. Good night, Mel. Good night, George. Good night, Sam, and everyone else. So yes, if you are sharing, make sure you continue because it does help. All right, everyone. Have a great night. I will see ya in the next one. Laters.